In this review, we're going to look at the Infinity Saga 2-pack of Obadiah Stane and Monger. I recently got this 2-pack in the mail. I ordered it from GameStop, and this is huge packaging. Actually, I had to back up my camera stand just to get it all in frame. Great looking packaging. Got the murals on the side, beautiful artwork on it. Murals on both sides of the box. A picture of the original Iron Man movie poster. You have a bio of Obadiah Stane over here in multiple languages, and his Ironmonger suit. You have your standard warnings, your sad onion, some Marvel trademark information, some more legalese on the bottom. And for those who need the barcode, I cannot turn it around in my workstation. There it is. And just to show how big this box is, here's a standard Marvel Legends box. And it's not even half the size of this big box. It is big packaging, and Ironmonger is a big boy. Here we have the figures in the plastic tray, and Ironmonger is huge. He actually was touching the bottom of the insert tray. This thing is taking up the full packaging inside the tray. You can see it comes with 2 alternate hands for Ironmonger, a smoke trail for one of the miniguns, a blast effect, and spent shell casings coming out of the minigun on his arms. You get the arc reactor, a briefcase for Obadiah. It's kind of weird they packaged the briefcase open. I don't know why they didn't just want to fill the tray up a little more. Looks like you're getting more. Here we have Obadiah and Ironmonger outside the plastic tray. First up, let's look at the accessories for Ironmonger. He comes with these 2 open grip style hands, different pose for each hand, and they're both horizontally hinged. They look really good. And he comes with his package behind Ironmonger in the tray. He comes with his missile launcher. And here is the accessory. It looks like the spent shell casings from his minigun. These look really good. And when he's not firing, like after he fires a minigun, he's got like a little smoke trail. Actually, oh, look at that. You plug it in that way. The heat coming off the gun, you can see the smoke trail and the missile. You can use it by itself or when he's firing. Well, that's really cool. For Obadiah, he comes with a briefcase and an arc reactor. One would assume this is supposed to go in here, but the briefcase is not deep enough to actually close with the arc reactor in it. Seems like a error on their part. Seems like they would have done nice. They actually had or you can actually have an arc reactor inside the case like they did in the movie. Let's go ahead and look at Obadiah. The body is reused from the Captain Marvel young Nick Fury. I have that body here. I had an extra Nick Fury. I use it to make a flap top. But you can see the bodies are exactly the same, just the deco on the shirt and the tie. And of course the head and hands are new. It's a really nice likeness to Jeff Bridges. Looks really good. Got the digital face printing for the eyes. I love the print for the tie and the shirt. It looks really good. It continues underneath the jacket, and you can see the harness for Nick Fury. The new hands with the ring finger. I don't know if this one's reused, but looks like it's new since it matches the sculpt on this hand. And this should be for holding the arc reactor. Yep. Oh, and take a quick little close-up of the arc reactor. It's decoed really nice. And for the main attraction, we have Monger. He is a big boy. As you can see, this is a standard Marvel Legends size. That is one big figure. One thing with this missile launcher, took me a while to figure out. I had to look at some online photography. It goes on this hydraulic cylinder up here. And it's tough to get it to snap on and stay on. There it goes. Let's go ahead and just put a few other accessories on them just to get a look. And swap out one of his hands. Okay, we got him decked out. I want to raise the camera up a little bit. He's so big. We have the minigun firing. This is a beautiful figure. The only thing I can see them done any improvements on this figure if they could have done some washes to bring out some of the detail a little more. Sculpt is beautiful. Happy little accident that's knocked out. Like I said, you can display it with just the smoke coming off, like he just got through firing. So I'll pop those out for right now for the rest of the view. Let's raise the camera up a little bit more. So he is monstrously huge. The sculpt is great on this thing. Love the texture. It's like a rough, hammered looking steel on all this. Like they built this thing in a hurry. Love that texture. The arc reactor details in here. All the arms, and on certain parts the pistons move with the figure. This is hinged down here. This cylinder moves, and it's a ball joint here. It's so cool. And the shoulder pads are on moving cylinders too. They'll pop out too. They're pretty restricted because this is not hinged, but you got a rotation here, and the cylinder comes out. Seems like they should go ahead and made these hinges actually work. But, this thing's just a great looking detail on all over this figure. Down to the legs. These cylinders don't move, and these don't move, but just the ones up here. Wish they would have painted they only painted the edge of the bullets here, but the shell casings are all brass. It seems like they should have painted that a little bit better. Get the missile launchers over on this side. They're painted really nice. See the red and the gold tips. The inside of the thighs. See, this is like overlays over top of the legs. Great looking design, detail all over this thing. As for the articulation on him, his head is on a double ball peg, like a lot of the newer stuff. Going forward, the ball peg is pretty restricted, but it goes back pretty good. Once you pop the inside the head, it's a two-piece where you got the white eyes. It's the silver grayish gunmetal color It's over top the white core that makes up the eyes. Pop the head back on. You get a lot of tilt with that double ball peg. You can't do a full 360 with the sculpt because it binds inside the recessed cavity of the neck. So you can look up for a flight pose. You can look down a little bit, but the torso articulation helps with that too. Disc hinge shoulders go all the way up to this far. There's no butterfly joint. There's bicep swivel. So the shoulder pads are articulated. They come in, there's no stops. You can pull that cylinder out. The shoulder pads rotate. And so when you're moving the arm forward, you can get a little bit of movement with the shoulder pads, but really wish they would have put a joint on the back of these cylinders. Kind of almost makes this slide in and out pointless without having these be articulated. The single joint elbows, a little less than 90 degrees. Hinge and swivel wrist. The torso is on a double ball peg. You get a lot of movement in that thing. You can tilt from side to side, back, crunch forward, full 360. A lot of movement. It's great with range of movement with that ball peg. Like looking down, so you restrict it looking down, but with that, when you crunch that down, you can look down at Iron Man really well. Ball joint hips. They are going to be restricted outward because of the armor overlay, because that's about as far as you're going to get. And pushed against the side, and you have to pull this armor up to get it that far. There's a rotation, forward, back. I just lost one of the cylinders because they pop. There's no stop on those. Single joint knees, get you around 90 degrees. Hinged ankles, they're set up like a regular Marvel Legends style hinge. See in there, they'll go forward none, back a little bit. You get ankle pivots. For a big figure, the articulation is pretty good. Never got the original Iron Man figures, Monger especially. I always thought those figures were way too small. I love the fact they're actually going back and redoing the early Marvel cinematic movies. This is just a great piece to have in your collection if you're an MCU collector. I really hope they end up doing the Incredible Hulk movie with Ed Norton, so I can get an updated Abomination from that movie, and of course the Hulk, Ed Norton style Hulk. The big thing we want to see on this one, let's do some size comparisons with these guys. I'm not going to do my regular transitions with bringing in figures in. I'm just going to go ahead and just bring them in. I want to see how big this guy is. Here is the Hulkbuster. They're pretty well eye to eye. The eye level is just a little bit higher on Hulkbuster. We've got a little more girth, but they're pretty comparable in size. It is a big old figure. As for an Iron Man comparison, standard Iron Man, I don't have the Infinity Saga first Iron Man movie yet to Mark III. Until we get the Avengers Iron Man here. And that is a good size comparison. I like that a lot. That's good size. Then we got Tony Stark from the box set when he was with the Mark I. The Mark I really needs it done because they just reissued the old first Mark I figure with this one, and I don't even display that for my collection. It's just a dated figure. It was too small. This figure, you can tell, wouldn't even fit inside that suit. But here's Tony next to Obadiah. I think that's a good size. I think Robert Downey Jr. and Jeff Bridges. That's about the right height difference, I believe. It's pretty close. And go ahead and leave them here, and stand by. Here they are with a bucket cap. One last comparison. Let's move all this stuff out of the way. This shows how ridiculously undersized the one I'm going to compare with. This is the comic book Build-A-Figure they did before the Iron Man 3 wave so many years ago. This does not seem like... This needs redone. We need a new comic book style Ironmonger. I want an Ironmonger comic book style the size of this one. This is just way too small. All in all, this is just a great looking set. Great update to the Ironmonger. And we never gotten an Obadiah Stane individually, except for the only way you can consider we got one with that one Ironmonger of the retool. That one with the torso would open up. You can see a little bit badly painted version of his upper torso. But this is just a phenomenal set. And I love the fact they're going back and redoing the early MCU figures, characters, and giving us characters we didn't even get from the early days. Said I'm hoping we get a Ed Norton Hulk. That would be really great to add to my Hulk collection. Whiplash would be another great one to get, both on the racetrack and in the armor at the end of the Iron Man 2 with hammer drones, armies of hammer drones. That would be great. This is a pricey set. Retail is $75 or $74.99 plus tax. This is $75. I ended up getting this on sale on GameStop was running their promo, and I got like for tax and all $67 shipped. The Ironmonger is what you're coming here for. The Obadiah Stane in a suit is just a bonus. I love having both pieces in the set. I would like to see the briefcase for Obadiah actually be able to house the arc reactor. A few more paint apps on Ironmonger. Been great to wash and detail the bullets going into the minigun to match the shell casings. That's all I got to say on this one. I appreciate everybody watching the review. Like, share, subscribe. And I'll catch y'all next time.